Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. The question today is, what's holding you back? What is it that's keeping you back from achieving the goals that you have set for yourself? The question, of course, is relating to your English. What's stopping you from talking fluently today? What is it that's holding you back from talking naturally in an English-speaking environment without the fear of using a wrong word or a wrong grammatical term? One of the biggest problems I think that everyone faces when they're learning a language is they tend to have a kind of faulty measurement system. What I mean by that is they set themselves a goal, but they don't really know how to measure performance to get to that goal. They might well know how to measure that performance if it's a project at work, if it's something tangible like putting information into a database or finishing a project. But when it comes to learning, especially trying to capture and use words, there isn't really a suitable measurement system because we're not robots. A word that I might know tomorrow, I might forget today. And as a native speaker, that tends to be what happens. And I'm sure it happens to you in your own language as well. So one of the biggest problems of getting to a point of fluency is really understanding the goalposts, understanding how they move, and understand how you need to measure how you reach that place. There's a few methods that you can use, of course, but you need to understand the system first of all. Learning a language is not really so tangible in that way. Most people that I've met as a teacher over the years, most students that I've met, don't really catch this point. They set themselves an unrealistic goal, let's say English in 1 month, English in 2 months, and they try to work towards it using some kind of measurement system which is faulty. And because it doesn't report back progress in the correct way, they then assume that they can't learn. English in 2 or 3 months, at least basic English, is very, very achievable. You even could get up to a good level in 2 months, especially if you make your learning full time. But how do you measure that? Is it measured by the number of words you can speak on a particular day? Is it measured by how many tenses you can remember if perhaps your teacher were to ask? As you probably know, English exams don't measure you in that way. English exams measure you by your use. So you have to show them how good your English is by using different tenses in a conversation that they usually set, and also in writing, showing how you can write and compare different points of view. And it can get a little bit difficult, especially in academic tests. So the way that English is measured, at least in its final destination, is about how well you use it, not about how many words are in your Quizlet application or how many words you can recite. Let's be very clear. There's two very different things when it comes to learning English. One is academia, where you push yourself and you push words underneath your nose. You look at a book, you try to translate it every day. Academia generally doesn't have a lot of sentiment or emotional feeling. It's not really connected to, anything It's more about just stuffing your head with information and then how you use that information. But emotional intelligence is much better, and emotional intelligence is something which comes from communicating with other people, building up a level of trust with other people, allowing yourself to use your English with other people in a safe, trusting environment, and more importantly, it's meaningful. Many of my students have told me that they just feel something is missing. And the ironic thing is, they usually tell me in the most beautiful English how something just isn't right. They don't feel confident, they don't feel able to use what they know, and the answer is always simple. They haven't really learned in a way that's meaningful. The way a child learns to trust his mother and father is very different from going to a dictionary and trying to get as many words as you possibly can inside your head. We connect and we learn, and this is one of the most important things. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go out and throw yourself off a mountain because you didn't know this. What I am saying is that you need to work more on building up solid, stable relationships, friendships in the English world. That alone motivates you to learn. And that's a very different thing from going to a book and saying, I'm going to study today. It involves vulnerability. And for many people, that is what holds them back. They buy the English book, they think, oh, this is great. And then at some point they think, wait a minute, something just doesn't feel right here. Something just isn't working for me, but they don't know what it is. So if you're feeling like that today and you think something really is holding you back, it probably is just simply connection. Now, you don't need to rush out and marry an English person, okay, or run to the personals ads and try and find someone to talk to, but it's something for you to ponder, something for you to reflect upon. Who do you trust around you? Who do you trust in your native language? There may be a much deeper issue than simply not connecting with English people. But whatever way you do it, it's really important that you begin to look around and see how you're going to connect with people in the English world. A good way of doing that, of course, on italki is booking a lesson with an English teacher, someone who is going to maybe affirm you in this, not by the words I've just used, but just to make you aware slowly that connection is really, really important. If you're talking to non-native speakers, that's very good. Maybe you can connect with them, but everyone kind of struggles to be direct and be who they want to be in a second language. So it's important just to keep that in mind. Right, well, I hope you found this useful. And let's talk again soon. And remember, if there is something holding you back today, just think about relationships and what they are and how they could help you get what you want. The good thing about building up friendships and relationships with people is that when you're talking to them, you get a level of authenticity. You know, you get a level of support because you know the person spending time with you. And in this kind of world of social media, we often come across that in a fake kind of way. So this is a much deeper thing than simply language learning. This is just a question to you generally. Do you need more connections in your life? And how could that help you to learn more? Could come up as a language partner, a teacher. It's something for you to consider to see how that applies to you. That's it from me. See you. Bye.